It's like Superman sump. We've got red, we've got blue, lots of blue. Where do you find red? Looks like inch to inch and a half. Forget the size. Where do you find red unions? He's got blue elbows. I wonder if he painted this. That's impressive. The sump has got some blue in it. The plumbing's blue. All fittings are blue. Okay, this is a Superman sump. We've got a nice refugium growing in here. Looks like it's packed with Chaeto. Anyone looking for Chaeto, talk to this guy. He's clearly got plenty to sell or give away, and a lot going on. Okay, so the pegboard back up here. Pegboard is one of the first things that's jumping out at me besides the Superman sump color scheme here. This is one way to cover things up. Looks like he's not necessarily using the pegboard function, but it's providing some airflow because there are holes through it, and the whole back of the sump isn't open. So if you wanted to hang something or drill something in, you could. That's different. Haven't seen that, but I like it. We've got a lot going on here. Just gonna get a walk through. Man, this refugium is packed. Usually the refugiums aren't that full, but this one is jamming full of Chaeto here. Wondering if he has that much nutrients in the tank to handle. We'll get a look upstairs, I bet, in a minute. So a single reef bright looking strip is providing the lights. It's probably like a 12K to 6K light, proving that you don't have to have a grow light to grow some nice macroalgae in your refugium. Looks like we've got a line dripping there in the back that may be from what looks to be a calcium reactor to the left. Bubble mac is curve. This is a skimmer that's clearly working well for the guy. Ooh, a media reactor tucked back in the back there. Okay, so this guy's making the most of the space that he has. Personally, I wouldn't want to have to service that thing, but hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Could you put the skimmer in the back and the media reactor up front? That way you don't have to haul out this big media reactor around the skimmer. Maybe not. Tight sump. Lots of things going on here. But again, not everyone has a fish room like I do to get things done. Looks like an Ecotech return pump. Like that he put a screen on the front to help keep any foreign objects out of there. Pumps don't do well with ingesting foreign objects. That can cause things to foul. Looks like we've got an ink bird here for temperature control, secondary temperature control. Probably has an apex on this system. That's good. Redundancy won't hurt, especially when it comes to heater control. Those things fail. When they fail, it's usually not pretty for your tank. We've got a barb fitting here, some soft plumbing up here in the top center. Noticing the zip tie on here. Personally, I would have a clamp, but look, a zip tie is better than nothing. Sometimes in smaller applications, the zip ties only get so tight, they don't really provide much of a clamp, but at least this person didn't just jam it up there. Looks like he's got it all the way all the barbs as well, so he's got more than one or two teeth grabbing onto that thing as well. Just little things that's jumping out at me. It looks like a small UV clamped up under there as well. Everything here is tight. This guy's have limited space, but look, it's proving that you can make it work. There's no reason you can't have a media reactor, protein skimmer, refugium, all in one space. So we got a calcium reactor over here. I'm hoping he has better access to that thing than what I'm seeing at the moment. It would be a pain to service that thing and change the media. Here we go. We're gonna get a walk around. Hopefully there's a door. Ask and you shall receive. Here's a door. Boom. There's a calcium reactor. Love it. Easy access to this thing. Can get in there and service the thing. Get it out, inspect it as well. Whew. Would not want to have to deal with that calcium reactor tucked over there if he didn't have that side door. But again, compact footprint, got a calcium reactor in there. Wonder how often he has to change it. Looks like a sizable calcium reactor for this size tank. All right, love the door on the side, love the detachable door. Speaking of doors, check that out. Barn doors for the doors on your sump. That's cool, haven't seen that before. Curious how the hardware is going to hold up with any water leaking on it or any of that salty moisture getting on it as well. But look, I mean, this is a nice presentation and just slides right out of your way, gives them as much access as it can to the tank. Haven't seen that one before. Nice little control panel. I like that it's black to match the quiet drives. Tablet here for his apex. Everything is here. Hey, look, the shutdown switch. Okay, personally, I would put O on there, which is what I call it, but hey. Different strokes for different folks, right? Maybe you don't want to encourage your children to ask why it says OS exclamation point. all the pieces here, nice cord wrangling, nice way to have things next to your tank, but not detract from the tank because you're looking at all these cords. Betting that there's somewhere else for these power supplies. Oh, here we go. We're gonna get a journey through the house. I wanna know where the rest of the stuff is. Oh, into the bedroom, uh-oh. Through the bathroom, into the master closet. This guy's got guts. Not only does he have it in the master closet, it looks like he put it on the wife's side of the master closet, which looks to be about 3/4 of the closet. That's how it goes, guys. We have a top-off bucket here. I bet this is where he's got his electronics. Look at this. In the master closet, tucked away though, everything is right behind the tank, energy bars. I love the motorcycle battery. That's probably a battery backup. He's labeled his power bricks. Personally, I wouldn't stack the power bricks, put them next to one another, help them breathe. But look, I'm digging that this guy's got a control cabinet tucked away in the master closet on his wife's side of the master closet, getting this done. And a top-off bucket. He's even got a tube holder, a legit tube holder that he's zip tied to the bucket. This guy is making sure there's not going to be a disaster in this master closet for the top-off. I'm curious on how he refills that thing, but maybe he doesn't go through that much water. I'm impressed, gotta say. He knew he had to put something in that closet, and he's gonna make sure that it's out of the way, and he's covering his tail as much as possible. All right, now we're, looks like in the garage, and looks like a little holding tank. This may be for quarantine, or just having a system up and going with rock in it. We got a little mixing station here, RODI unit, tucked away. I'm wondering if this is on the apex. Doesn't look like it is. Brute trash can for mixing. Look, there's nothing wrong with that. It can work. This guy's making the most of his garage space. He's getting stuff done. Love that it's a little mixing station. Part of his garage is given to the RODI unit right next to the Go America cornhole. Hey, you gotta store things where you can, right? This is getting the job done for the guy. A whole bunch of tubing. I'm wondering if this tube goes to the bucket in that master closet. There's a lot of tube coiled up there. I wonder if he has to run it through the house. Then I'm curious what he does to make sure it doesn't overflow. All right, here we go. Now we're gonna get to look at the display tank. We've seen under it, now we see how the tank actually looks. Nice rimless tank that he's put a top on, like that, help keep the fish in. Got a nice Ecotech light bar. Looks like we've got 3 Radeon XR15s powering it, and a nice mix of fish. Bare bottom tank as well. That's a little different, not my taste, but it works for this guy. Loving the screen top, did a good job of making sure it's nice and tight, and he did it in black. So black fades from view, so that's nice as you're looking for the tank. That rim of the screen top fades away over time. So that's a nice little touch. We've got some tanks in here, fox face, of course the clownfish pair, some sticks, some LPS, some Zoa Garden growing out onto the bottom of the tank, loving that, and a leather coral and some LPS stacked back as well. So nice mixed reef with fairly heavy fish load. This doesn't look like a huge tank, but everyone looks happy and they look healthy. And getting the job done. Nice vortex here, so he's got a nice clean rimless tank with no cords in it. That's a nice touch. Here's a wide shot with the doors, the barn door shown on the bottom. What a unique tank in terms of placement of gear. Loving the barn doors on the front, loving the overall presentation. Just a nice little tank that sits in this room. Definitely pulls people's eye, pulls my eye, but it doesn't overpower the room. Now personally, look, I've got plenty of room there. I bet you brought an 8-foot wall there. I would go for a larger tank, but hey, maybe this is the guy's first tank. You don't have to have a big tank. I just like bigger tanks. But look, this is a nice smaller tank, nice presentation. He's doing well with it. He enjoys it. It looks great. Really nice work. Some unique aspects. I'm sure more than one of us would be curious on how you got away with putting the top off bucket and some of the gear in the master closet, taking up some of your wife's space. Okay, let's talk about coral placement here since we're getting a closer look. Got a nice Setosa there, which I like, some Duncans there, which are getting some nice flow. They're moving around in the flow, but not too much. You got the old hammer, or looks like that's a frog spawn, kind of maybe even a torch touched away back there in the back. That's clearly doing well. I can easily reach in there and pull that thing out and frag it up. Some Blastos here, doing well. It looks like potentially a Kenya tree. I personally don't care for those. Look in this tank, it looks just a little brown for me, but I would personally go for Gorgonian over that. That's my taste. It's a nice little Zoa garden here. And love how it's growing onto the bottom of the tank. Look, we don't get that when we have sand in our tank. There's a give and take on that one. Makes for a different presentation. Looks like it's melting out onto this guy's tank there. Got some sticks in here that are growing in. Nice purple Milka, Stylo. That stuff always does well. I've had great success with it. Some Cephastria underneath there as well. Yeah, this is going to be an SPS dominant tank in no time, given how these tank corals look like they're encrusting. Look, everything looks good. We got some coral and algae going on here, digging the mix of fish, and we got some mix of sticks as well. We got some Monis up front, easy to trim, easy access to those. Love how the clowns are confused and hanging out in the candy canes. Crazy clownfish. Of course, they don't have an anemone in here, but still, it's like of all places you want to hang out in some candy canes, I guess not. If you're a clown, why not hang out in the candy shop? It's all about jokes, right? Nice wrasse here. Just a nice mix of things. Gotta love the kryptonite candy canes up front. They're gonna glow when those actinics get going and really pull everyone to the center of that tank. So, okay, so we got a green next to it, looks like a green Moni next to a green, looks like, and maybe that's a Undata next to a green bird's nest. I would personally remove one of those greens or move them away. I've got a lot of green in one area. I would like to space that out. We've got these trumpets, another Calistera up front here, tons of those. They look like they're doing well. I would move one of those greens away, bring that hammer right there up, get it some attention. Also put in a torch. You can find a nice Aussie gold. That would really look well in this tank. Provide some motion over on the right side as well as break up some of those greens. And we've got some of the Recordia mushrooms back there. It's on its own rock, which is great, but you got it kind of stuck on the back, so why not just get the thing out of there? Find some nice rock flower anemones. That's something I would trade out if it was my tank. Overall though, I'm loving the smaller footprint, loving what he's done with it. He's got lots of flow in here. Looks like a couple MP40s providing the flow, but it's providing a nice aquascape. Lots of flow in this thing, so let's load it up with some sticks. Let's trade out some of those greens, move some of those browns on as well, and really get some color in this thing to really make it pop and really stand out.